What was once the Polk County Courthouse now serves as the Polk County History Center and houses the Historical Museum and Library. The museum serves Polk's community through special event, volunteer opportunities, and educational programs. More details are coming up next on Polk Place. Welcome to Polk Place. I'm your host, Tina Mann, and joining me in the studio today is Murdish Young, the Historic Preservation Manager at the Polk County History Center.
Good morning, Tina.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I cannot believe we are about to start talking about April.
I know.
So we are starting to go into our warmer months, so this is everybody's last chance for what?
Oh my goodness, don't miss it, don't miss it. April 3rd, meet us at the museum, the History Center, at 11 a.m. for the end of the season walking tour down to Oak Hill Cemetery. Just such a fun way to learn about history and the early pioneers of Polk County and their stories and who was here and what they were doing and what sort of shenanigans and interesting things they got into. So this is the last one until fall, April 3rd at 11 o'clock.
April 3rd, and hopefully April also marks the end of the pollen season. So hopefully your walk will be a little less adorned by pollen than it was in March. Also in April, I think we're going to be encouraging people to explore the northeast of Polk County. So why don't you tell me about that?
You know, Tina, this year we decided people were bound at home for a long time. So we wanted to create great opportunities for everybody. We call them our families who are, have to stay at home together. We are creating opportunities for them to experience the Heritage Trail. So our recommendation for the month of April is to get out to the northeastern side of the county and visit our historic communities like Loftman. Stop in and check out the Loftman marker that welcomes you to Polk County with citrus spelled incorrectly. Come on down to Davenport and visit the historic village of Davenport. And we just, the school board just made a wonderful investment in the restoration of the historic Davenport School. I think built in 1927 is a beautiful representation of our early brick schoolhouses. So Davenport and Loftman, come on down to Haines City and look at we've got some amazing historic architecture in the downtown area of Haines City, and then just come on down to Dundee and just visit, spend some time out in the northeast section. And if you need some assistance, some guidance, not to worry about that. Call us at the History Center and we can help develop your tour of the northeastern part of the county as you visit the Heritage Trail out in that area.
And that's actually one of our largest growing communities here in Polk County, and I think a lot of the people who have moved into that area don't realize there's actually a lot of history up there because there's so many new developments that I think the history gets a little lost. So I love the fact that you guys are pointing it out. I've gotten an opportunity to go visit that citrus marker. My favorite thing about it isn't the misspelling, but the fact that you can still see parts of that old brick paved Dixie Highway. It's absolutely beautiful. It's just peeking through what they asphalted over, and it's really cool. So also in April, speaking of really cool, let's talk about the architectural tour.
Well, and everybody knows at this point it's one of my favorites. So
yes.
On April 17th, again at 11 o'clock a.m. in the morning, meet in the Rotunda and enjoy a guided tour through the History Center. The building is just a beautiful representation of neoclassical architecture. They're great things to learn about how the building was constructed, how those columns were constructed on site, things about the interior, the tile, just the entire story about building this beautiful building. And every month we have a special feature. So in April, I guess we decided that it would be a good time to talk about time. So part of the story will be about the clock that adorns the dome on the exterior. And it has its own little story and its own history. Early on, the time was kept by those heavy weighted cement pieces of cement that were connected to the clock by chain, and that's how the clock kept its time. So it's a pretty good story to hear. So come on down, meet us in the Rotunda at 11 o'clock on April 17th, and enjoy a story about the history of the neoclassical building we're in.
Well, it's pretty neat. You guys have done some clockwork lately, and I've gotten to see some pictures. So maybe you can make those available for everybody to see as well.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's going to be a really special opportunity. People are always wanting to go up in the dome.
And they can't because it's not safe.
It's not safe to physically go up there, but through the creativity of Polk County Communications, you're going to get a little sneak peek of what it looks like up there.
Awesome. So what do we have in store for us for the genealogy speaker?
Wow, we really have an outstanding speaker in April, Dr. Josh Goodman, who is one of the historians and the archival historian at the State Archives of Florida, will be presenting a program on how to use the state archives to continue research of your family history. There's so many records in the state archives that can help you. You know, sometimes in our research we'll just hit roadblocks, and this is another great avenue to take to find some answers to some questions about family history. The state archives hold information from the tax rolls and from election returns and even prison records. You know, sometimes those records will help us find information about family members, and then the state homestead applications and so much more. So Dr. Josh Goodman, be sure to register. It's on April 24th at 10 o'clock. It is virtual only, so it's going to require registration so we can get you into the Zoom room.
So all they need to do is call the museum and talk to Preston or anybody really. They can get them registered. So also while we're talking about genealogy, let's just point out again, if you're doing research, where is the best place to go?
The best place absolutely is come to the History Center. Go over to the East Wing on the second floor and meet up with Preston Petermeyer and Dorinda Gerard, our historians and librarians over in that area. And we have an amazing, very significant, very robust collection of historical documents and records, family historical files, and just a great deal of research to help you do research right in the library.
Right, and you guys also offer access to 2 different online websites that people can use for their research. That's what Family Search as well as Ancestry.
That is correct, and those are just really valuable tools to help you move around into the world of digital information to do your research. And then we can also, you know, get you into old newspapers and so many documents and resources to navigate around and do research. I have people tell me there's a little caveat that goes with starting that kind of research. Once you get started, you're hooked, and it just becomes such a passion that you just never want to stop, because one story leads to another and leads to another. And there you are, then you become one of us.
Right, and you end up going down those rabbit holes, and you know, it's a nice place to visit. It's quiet up there. There's so many things to look at. There's just so much, like, local. I mean, even I was looking the other day, and there's like stuff from all over the Southeast. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, they definitely need to just visit the History Center. It's safe, it's a great place to go, it's easy to social distance, it's easy to stay safe, so they just need to come visit you in April.
Why, thank you, Tina. We certainly agree with that.
Well, thanks for coming on today.
Thank you.
Polk County has a rich history and heritage, and the Polk County History Center is continuously thinking of new ways to help Polk residents experience that history. The museum's collection includes natural and cultural objects related to Polk and the greater Central Florida area that represent our history from pre-Columbian to present-day eras. The artifacts on display at the museum represent individuals, cultural groups, and events significant to the region. Located at 100 East Main Street in Bartow, the History Center is open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. For more information about exhibits and events, you can check them out on the web at polkhistorycenter.org or give them a call at 863-534-4386.